Alright, so we are going downstairs. We are going to wait for the Uber driver who will then pick me up and take me over there to Phil's. And then we're going to go play in Dana Point tonight. Hey, here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So he's going to arrive shortly. We will then interview this unsuspecting earthling about various things in the world. I always like to smell nice for these folks, so you will find me chewing gum quite often. It's great. Jimi Hendrix always chewed gum, even while he was singing. Isn't that interesting? I wonder. Oh, I think that's that's my person right there. That's the person I am looking for. All right. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh. Still haven't found. Hello there. Great. What I'm looking for, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. This is a sharp-looking car.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Looks futuristic.
It does.
Is it new?
It's actually 2016. I got it about a year ago. I got it used.
It feels sturdy. It's got like a sturdy rocket aspect to it.
Well, yeah, because it's a nice Ford car.
Did you grow up out here?
No, I actually grew up outside of Philadelphia.
Oh. I've heard great things about Philadelphia.
It's a great city. I grew up out in the suburbs, but it's still a great city.
And then what brought you out here?
I'm an actress.
Oh, that's great. What do you like to act in most?
I like theater the best.
Have you been in some recent plays?
Nothing recently. I've done a couple of readings of a play.
Oh, cool.
For a local playwright, so that's been cool. But I kind of do whatever I can get my hands on.
What are some of the favorite kind of plays that you like to do?
I like doing period pieces, so I like doing like restoration comedy and stuff like that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Get all dressed up in the corsets and the big skirts and all that kind of fun stuff.
That's fun. When you're in the costume, it really dials you into that so much.
Yep. It's
especially if you're able to throw a wig on or, some mustache or something. And
yep. Throw on some curls.
It's so great how, once tech nights roll around, and then especially the dress rehearsal nights roll around, you're just like, you really get to dial into those aspects.
I know, it's really fun.
Now you got all the lights around, you got the sound effects, and you're looking
stuff.
like it.
Yep.
What was the last play that you were in? What was the name of it?
The last play I was in actually was called Garbo's Cuban Lover, which was over in West Hollywood a couple years back. I played Saltz who was a German actress and director who worked with Garbo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
So it was fun.
Was this this was
a play that was written by the woman who played Garbo's Cuban Lover, who was a woman in the 30s and 40s who was a screenwriter. She didn't get credit for a lot of the stuff that she wrote because at the time, men wrote everything, so they kind of gave her pseudonyms, and they did the same thing with Saltz. But it was just kind of an interesting piece to work on, so that was fun.
Was it a history you had known about beforehand?
No, not really. Yeah, so that
was cool. Did it kind of
too.
send you down a rabbit hole of like learning about all this other crazy stuff?
Yeah, and then watching German movies that Saltz was in, which was kind of fun.
That's
So
great that you had those archives there to be
was
able to
great.
dive into and
Well, these days, yeah, you can get your hands on so much stuff that you couldn't before. So it's, yeah. Because Anna Christie was a movie that Garbo was known for here, but she had originally done it in German, which I didn't know.
Oh,
There were
wow.
like 2 versions of it. And Salka was in it with her in the German version of it. So seeing the German version and then seeing the American version sort of back to back, it was really kind of fun.
that is cool. It's neat to
So-
see their different interpretations of
Yeah.
of that.
And some of the scenes, like, you know, from the play to the movie, sometimes scenes get switched around a little bit. And so from one movie to the other, there were scenes that were in the German that weren't in the American and vice versa. And it's kind of fun to just look at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting when a director decides to add a certain aspect to it that wasn't there before, or subtract a certain aspect.
Right.
It's really interesting to see how those different
How they play
interpretations.
out and how the characters deal with it, and what you learn more about a character from one director's viewpoint than the other. And yeah, it's fun.
What would
It's
be
definitely fun.
a most ideal? You were talking about period pieces. What would be a most ideal play that you kind of think about in your brain that you're like, ooh, that would be really cool to do?
Oh gosh. Well, I love The Importance of Being Earnest, and I've done it. That's a really fun play. I played Lady Bracknell in that show, so that's a fun, you know, upper crust, persnickety kind of woman to play, which is great. I would love to do more Shakespeare. You know, I can't get enough Shakespeare, so I've always wanted to play Lady Anne, Lady Macbeth. Never did it. I've played other parts in that play, but I've never played her. So that would be fun at some point. But
My buddy, on a few occasions, we went up to, there's a free Shakespeare in the Park you probably
Yeah,
know about. It's
yeah.
at Griffith Park.
yeah, they do
And
great
it is
stuff.
so fun. Oh yeah, left here. It kind of sneaks. It's a
sneaks
very
up on you.
strange kind of thing.
So what do you do here
In this loops.
La La Land?
Oh, here. So, I'm actually, the place you're taking me right now, my buddy's going to pick me up. We're going out to, I'm in a band called Yachtley Crew. We played last
cool.
night at the Viper Room. So
Oh,
if you like
nice.
live music, you know,
I
or
do.
if you like, you know, we got a lot of YouTube videos and stuff too. So it's all soft rock and, oh yeah, right here. Soft rock classics like Michael McDonald and Christopher Cross, and just all love songs,
Yeah.
pure positivity. Everyone who comes out is such good people, and a lot of wonderful people are making a lot of friends out there on the dance floors. What's so cool about it is that
That's awesome.
it spans the generations. So
well, yeah, with
you
that
got,
kind of music, it's great.
yeah. So there's not like no one's there to get into a barroom brawl. They're just there to dance and just
You
have.
just have a good time.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Cool.
just so fun. It is so fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and it's great to see the community that's building from it. So that's me in a nutshell. It was nice meeting you,
Nice
and
meeting you, too.
I trust you're going to come across lots of really interesting projects in the future. And your future self is playing Lady Macbeth. Out, damn spot. Oh boy! Oh yeah!
One there.
Dig that, Daddy-O. Thank you. Oh, may I have some ranch dressing if possible? Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Projectile. So you excited about tonight, Mr. David Bowie?
Oh, always excited to be StillWater, Dana Point.
What do you like most about StillWater? I'm
Well,
curious if it matches up with the same things I like.
Well, first of all, they treat us really well here. The food is always pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that there's no cover charge means that anybody can just stroll in off the street and,
Yeah.
and it ends up being a wild crowd,
Oh yeah.
which is the way we like it.
Yeah, because the music, they'll just hear it out on the street sometimes, and some of those people out there, they follow the music, wondering what's going on there.
It's just too bad this place isn't, on the sand.
Oh,
So that way we could really reel in, some of the really real,
oh yeah, really real.
the reality rakers.
What did you have? What kind of food did you have?
I had the chicken banh mi sandwich, which is, I believe, what is in front of you for your order as well. A lovely mixture of Thai and Asian fusion.
Ooh,
Very, very tasty.
fusion. Oh, thank you. And you know what? May I have some paper napkins, if possible? Thank you.
I'm getting coffee now too. Coffee.
Yeah, do it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm the most demanding customer in the world. We will be back.
That's a good one.
Doing some sound checking here before tonight's show at StillWater in Dana Point. Of course, by the time I upload this podcast, there's a good chance that the show will have already happened. However, at least you get a chance to dip your foot into the swimming pool of process. Dip your foot into the stream of consciousness. Ooh, that sounds real good. Ooh.
One or two notes a little bit later. Easy line to remember. Do each note.
That's the one.
That's all right.
And there you have it, folks. There you have it, folks. Marvelous, marvelous.
A QSC and their rack and everything, and all I do is take the outs and run them to my speakers, and then I log into theirs, and I got a scene saved on their rig, and setup time. I kid you not. Here's the deal. The gig was over, and I was freaking pissed off at the band. You know why? Because I actually had to break out one cord and plug it in, And at the end of the night, I then had to unplug and roll that cord up and put it. And I'm like going, you guys fucked me out of a cordless night by one. I could have had a cordless night. You know?
Is that like a no?
I could have had a cordless
I don't think I've ever hit that one where I've done a sound gig where I did not run
what
one.
What bands bring their own?
It's a country band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they tour around. They're like just a total working guys, stiffs, man. They work all the time, but yeah, they show up with their stuff.
Yeah.
And it's literally they show up and set up a few things and plug in, and then I plug a couple cords in. I ran a cord because something was short, so I had to break out one cord, and it was probably my fault anyway, but it wasn't them. And then I plugged in with the mixer and I built a scene last time they were here. So
that's what we're doing. Like every time we set up now, literally they plug it in and he hits go, and it's pretty much exactly where it's supposed to be.
If you have your own mixer,
yeah,
and all you're doing is sending the lines out, and you guys have it all dialed in and set, and you can show up in the minimal plugging in. Everybody's got this cord goes there,
So
they
we got
plug in and go.
And
Your gig. 9 others live mic, big thing, and felt what that feels like. When you're on a stage like that, you really got to contain your sound to you, and
It is now
you really got to play your feet. And,
8:17 p.m. I just had this absurd idea of a guy, like a rich guy, like a billionaire guy, who's just so lazy. He doesn't even get pushed in a wheelchair. He gets pushed in a gurney. He just lays back and he has people push him places. Oh my God. They just push him places. Heck, maybe one of his limos is a hearse, or they just go, whoa. They just wheel him into the back of this, this hearse, and he just lays back there. And what do you think is happening here? Oh, that's not a parking space.
no, they're going.
Oh. Drizzling. So, guy, he just has people push him around on a gurney all the time. It smells so fresh out here. The time is now 8:20 p.m., Polly. What time do you think that Yachtley Crew plays on stage tonight?
I heard 9 p.m. sharp.
So, from what I understand, you've been hearing the rumors that we're playing at 9 p.m. sharp.
That is true.
Is this a popular notion out there in the news, in the headlines?
My name is Pauly Shores, and I approve of this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Mr. Pauly Shores, all the way from the shores of Bermuda. That's right, folks, Bermuda. They found him on a beach, snuggled up in a conch shell. That's right. Mr. Pauly Shores, here he is today, a world-class surfer. When was the last time you played the saxophone while surfing, Mr. Pauly Shores?
Well, I was afraid you'd never ask that question. It was a balmy summer,
Balmy.
monsoonish type, unseasonal day, August 12th, 1989.
Yikes.
No, it was 1978.
Whoa.
1978.
1978.
1978.
1978.
The water was blue.
Ooh.
Almost green.
Yee.
Almost emerald green.
Yikes.
And the wind was at 13 knots.
Yikes.
It was a beautiful, balmy summer day.
Ooh, balmy.
When in the distance, I see this mounding mountain of
mounding mountain.
of just
yes.
out of control energy.
Yikes.
Just swelling the ocean.
A crazy ocean
Higher
swell.
than any skyscraper I had ever seen.
Ooh.
Could I ride it? Could I conquer this beast?
Ooh, good God.
Would I be the last thing I remember before
Yikes.
I get pummeled to death?
Pummeled by splashings. I think it'd be awesome if we did like a Yachtley Crew kind of beach movie, like they did with the in the Funicello beach movies. A lot of frisbee playing, saxophone player who rides a surfboard, people making sandcastles. You got the people who are giving the illusion that their head is just, you know, like they're buried up to their neck in sand. You got, you know, all kinds of fire pits, surf competitions, crabs on the beach, krakens on the horizon. You know, good nature, fun surf movie with the Yachtley Crew at the helm. Ooh, wow. Ooh, what if the movie is about Yachtley Crew? It's about the pleasure cruise. And, you know, and during those cruises, they go on to land a few times, right? They go on to land a couple times. So that's where you have the beach movie, where you got, like, the music things, where it's kind of like, you know, Jamaica sky, ba, 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 to the sky, ba, 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 with Fishbone. And so that's where we have those great, you know, musical things. Oh, dude! And then it shows, since the Yachtley Crew is like the house band of the pleasure cruise. Then we got those shots too, where you got the kick-ass, the fog effects. You got the lights coming through. Wow! And then that opens up so many possibilities, because then that could go into like a music video, you know, through the. Dude. Did you see this ever? Saxophone being played on the back of a motorcycle out in the landscape.
Wow, that seems dangerous. Ooh, she's jazzing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We need some TP? Is there TP over there?
Dude.
It looks like there's like half a roll.
I'm making sure everybody else is alright.
Dude. Thank you. Have you ever seen this? Mr. Bowie? David Bowie?
Oh, you have a crack in your screen. I'm so surprised.
Dude, this is so cinematic.
Right?
Is she hot?
She's not ugly.
She's like a super heroine.
You go on at 9? Dallas won 24-22.
Mentioned that. Yeah, one of you guys. Wow. Now we're comparing. Yeah, I get this.
Listen, you gotta use moisturizer when
You know, there was a guy who went to the doctor and he had a problem. He had, like, it sounds like a joke. He had all his teeth.
Dude, this is crazy.
He goes to the doctor and shows the doctor, and the doctor looks at him and talks to him and he brings in a specialist, and that's 2 doctors are sitting there and they just can't figure it out. Can you tell us a little bit more, maybe something?
Wow.
Ready to go.
Dude.
Go to work.
She could have a whole concert series where she writes on. So it's now 1:30 p.m. the day after our StillWater show. We're out here at Westlake Village Yacht Club for the benefit show for Borderline. We're setting up everything. We're at soundcheck right now. We got Chris, the mastermind sound engineer tech, over there on the boards. We got Robin over here helping dial things in. Twisted Gypsy, Fleetwood Mac tribute's going to be here today. Can't wait. We're out here right on the water. It's beautiful out here. When you go outside, oh my God, you can just smell it. It smells so beautiful out there. You got the seagulls flying around. Oh, the smell of the water just swooshing up in through the nostrils. One thing's for certain. Today, all of these, like if you look out across this water, there are all these houses out there in the mountains, up in the hills and stuff. This reminds me of when we played the June Lake show, where these vibes are just gonna go wah 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 out there into the ears of all these folks that are up in the hills. It's astounding. It's astounding. Pure 1. Pure A1 astounding. We will get back to you more later.
Hey, Robin, or Chris. Christine McGee needs to know in her ears. Check. Yeah.
This app, it's free, and they distribute it through Spotify and iTunes, all kinds of cool stuff. So it's like I try to simultaneously document what's going on with Yachtley Crew.
By the way, I would love
while
to
I'm
help
out.
you guys out.
Oh man!
Seriously, no. I mean, look, I play, so I understand what you guys do.
Are you in a band?
I play with bands. Sometimes Damien, when he's in town with his band, I'll play with them.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, that's how I know how big that stage is on the Viper.
Oh my God! So can you let people know? Let's say if they ever need a, would you say you're an entertainment lawyer or specifically music or?
Well, I run the litigation department at our firm, Jacobson, Russell, Saltz, Nassim, and Delatorre. I know it's a mouthful. I'm Michael Saltz, and I run the litigation department. But our firm does all manner of entertainment, We represent artists, actors, directors, writers, producers, and musicians. In the field of acting, we represent Mike Myers, Tommy Lee Jones.
Wow.
We've represented William Shatner and Sharon Stone. Music-wise, we represent Ringo Starr, Roger Hodgson, Don Felder, and we've had the Monkees. And
how incredible!
It's great because being a frustrated musician who's an actual lawyer as his day job, I get to touch rock history, and that's kind of cool. I see the old documents, and I get to touch them and see the behind the scenes that no one ever gets to know about.
Wow!
Yeah, so it's a tough job. It takes a lot of time, especially the litigation part, but the rewards are you get to see things, you get to make history, you get to change history, or you get to know everything from behind the curtain. And it's a really different view back there, I'll tell you that.
Wow, what inspired you to become an entertainment lawyer?
Well, that's really interesting. Kind of fell into it. I originally went to law school because my parents wanted me to take over a family company, which was a consumer reporting agency.
Oh.
A credit bureau. And when I went through law school, I got out and I started out in the district attorney's office doing preliminary hearings so I could get some trial experience, and it was invaluable. The ability to learn to speak clearly in front of people and be in court every day and think on your feet. And then by the time I got out, my family sold the company. So it was a good thing I had the skills to be a lawyer, and started out with a friend of mine from law school, said, hey, we can start this firm. I got clients. And it was his idea to stop doing corporate transaction and go into entertainment. And a real prominent entertainment attorney by the name of Bill Jacobson said, I like your young energy, I like your vibe, and I'm going to come in and join you. And with him came a whole host of experience and credibility and clients. And from there we brought in Bruce Graycal. We have Dale De La Torre, who actually, he's not just a great entertainment attorney, but he was the producer of The Sandlot.
Oh, cool.
And John Q and some movies, so he has great stuff.
Wow.
And through him we represent like comedians like Russell Peters. Great guy, funny, super funny comedian. And Sunny Nassim also is in the firm, and through her we do all the intellectual property for everybody. So we do their trademarks. And I head up the litigation, so when things don't go according to plan, or people don't like the contracts that they are in, or don't follow them, then I come in and resolve the problem.
Who would you say is the first actor or musician that you first encountered when you got this job where you go, holy cow, I'm working with this guy? What was that first one?
Oh, early on in my career, I did a transactional deal for Lisa Marie Presley.
Wow,
right,
man.
So, and when she was selling her home in Hidden Hills and moving to London, I helped with some of the work with that because I have also a background in real estate. In fact,
that's cool. That helped out a lot.
Yeah, it did. Because of my background with the consumer reporting agency, it specialized in tenant screening. So I knew everything about landlord-tenant law. So much so that I was asked by LexisNexis and Matthew Bender to write the California Landlord-Tenant Litigation Guide.
Oh my gosh!
So
you're the mastermind behind like the source that everybody goes to learn what's going on. You're the guy.
Not everybody, but everybody should. But my name is on the cover of the book.
Incredible.
That Matthew Bender publishes through LexisNexis of all the fun stuff about landlord-tenant litigation in California. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but
It's very important to know about that stuff.
Well,
Because people who are ignorant, they're not knowing whether they're going to be taken advantage of or not.
Well, everybody rents at one point in their life, whether they're an individual or whether they're a company. And people forget that.
Oh, hey, by the way, you two, you sounded fantastic. Oh, wait, you were playing, right?
I was playing, and there was I managed the kid, and she's still there.
Oh, that's great. You sounded great up there, by the way. I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just
okay.
had to, in case they were leaving, I had to tell them.
So it's important because even celebrities are in businesses where they have rental properties or they're renting properties. All businesses usually rent. Very few businesses own the property in which they exist. And it allows us to offer another dynamic to our base with regard to representing them in an area that not a lot of people know about.
Wow, that is incredible. It's so cool that you were able to combine these knowledges together. Little did you realize that one day you'd be able to go, okay, oh, look at that. We got the peanut butter and we got the chocolate. Let's make the Reese's peanut butter cup here.
Right, exactly. As it turns out, the entertainment industry is a business first and foremost. And their laws are the same as everybody else's. It's contract law. So they have to follow the same laws with regard to formation of their contracts, to the enforcement of their contracts, through the consideration that they put into their contracts. So when you bring these resources basically to bear to people who are in the entertainment industry, it allows you to provide a certain level of service. Because, again, everybody in the entertainment industry, they have homes. They're in real estate. They may have rental property. They have businesses. So just like everybody else, you perform that service to people who are in the entertainment industry.
What would you say is some of your favorite aspects about all of it?
The people. As a litigator, I have a certain mentality that's a little different than most. I try to come in and say that this is the way it's going to be, and this is a fair way it's going to be. And when I run into resistance, I have the tools and the capability to make sure that they change their mind at some point. Because I can apply pressure, I can force the issue, because I rarely, if ever, overreach. And the position that we take is usually the fair one, and we've already thought it through.
That is so cool.
And when people want to fight back, well, that's not good for them. And that's where I come in, is to make it as unpleasant an experience as possible, to make them come and see the light. And at that point, they'll usually settle, or we'll go to court and force them into seeing things the way that we had offered it in the beginning.
Oh.
And so there's people who enter into the contracts, and then there's the muscle who enforces it. So I run the department that's the muscle that enforces it. But I still get to hang out with the people. I see people at their best. I see them at their worst. As an attorney, you are also a therapist. People come and look to you for advice and about everything. And
is it intriguing to be offering advice to people that you grew up watching on TV, or
yeah,
and you're going, oh my God, I'm offering, Ringo Starr, for instance, he's asking me this stuff, and I'm offering him these opinions. Like, that must be very interesting to have that.
I would have to say my favorite was Donnie and Marie.
That's great.
They haven't aged a bit. They're still fantastic, full of energy, and they're the nicest people on the planet.
That's great.
They truly are. And to have the ability to spend private time with them, to see that their persona behind the stage, behind the curtain, is even more endearing and even more lovely than it is in front. And they're just such great people. So when you get that, when you get clients like that, you do truly feel blessed. So.
Yeah. My mom was just telling me, because she runs like an old folks home. So she helps out with all that. She does the entertainment for that. So she has to take them out to all these different places. And she recently took them out to see. It was one of the other Osmonds. I forgot what his name is. But he was like the little guy.
you remember what his name was?
Oh,
the little
no.
brother?
I know who you're talking about.
But it's just so funny
yes.
because she was just in town telling me about that. Now here I am talking with you about the Osmonds, and I cannot count on my hand how many times I've actually talked about the Osmonds. And here, 2 times within the past week, I've talked about the Osmonds, which is just phenomenal.
No, they're great. They even extended when I was in Vegas with my family and my mother, we were there for her birthday. They gave us tickets. They took us backstage.
That is incredible.
Marie gave my mother a tour backstage. As I said, they couldn't be more gracious. They couldn't be more nice. Real, genuine, fantastic people. And when you run into that, it's great. And I'm lucky because, being a named partner in the firm, I do get to say I don't want to take this case. I do get to say I will take this case. Unfortunately, like all the people that I've had the opportunity to represent, they've been fantastic.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Are there musicians or actors out there that you go, here's my list of people I would love to work with someday?
I work with people large and small. I've worked on very big cases I can't even talk about. I've worked on cases that I've been outed, where I've tried not to be outed, that were the pinnacle of press.
Where you tried to kind of remain as the guy behind the curtain.
Well,
so to speak.
I was at some point. I'll tell you who it was, but I remember that my sister called me and she said that her friend told her my name at one point was the number 4 name searched on Yahoo.
That is amazing.
Yeah, well,
that must have exploded your brain. You're like, wait, I'm trying to be the guy who's hiding in the shadows like the ninja, and now all of a sudden people are knowing who I am?
Exactly. And when you get a private phone call from Barbara Walters wanting to interview your client, and you're telling her, no, we're not doing any interviews, and to hear her on the phone and to talk to her,
my gosh.
It's surreal going, I just got a voicemail and I just talked to Barbara Walters.
Wow.
You just say that is remarkable. But you get involved in this stuff and then you touch history. So the case was I represented the maid in the Arnold Schwarzenegger matter.
Oh, I don't even know about that matter. But there was a maid in an Arnold Schwarzenegger thing happening.
Right, who had a son with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And so once it was out who we were, the press had descended upon the client and us.
So they really went down the rabbit hole to find out who the team was working with them, and
so it's one of those things where you try not to draw that kind of attention, and when it's out there, you just try to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's history, and
yeah,
you realize your name is now etched in there in history.
Yeah. Because the internet goes, it goes back so far back into the history.
Right. So, and that's that. As I said,
well, did you find once you found out that you were the top what'd you say, top 4 search names on Yahoo? Yeah. Did you start finding yourself getting more clients or more business out of that?
We got more
crazy. People like, who is this guy?
Yeah, we got a lot of letters from prison asking for us to represent.
Oh.
So not necessarily the wanted attention, but
right.
It's hard to say because there's stuff where we wind up in the media. There's word of mouth. There's we've represented Candy Spelling in a real estate matter. We've represented just a number of people, and we always think how do people get here? How do they come with us? Because we don't advertise. So it is word of mouth, and our deeds get passed on from person to person, and because they like the relationships that we build with our clients, they pass our name on. And when people have issues, they fortunately come to us, and we're thankful for that.
Is that I would imagine in my brain it's a tricky thing to try to figure out which case you're going to represent or decide to put your time into. How do you do that? Do you just flip a coin, or how do you do that?
Well, in litigation, it's really the case that's taking that's more pressing at the time. So when you have a trial date, when you know that's approaching, and you know you have a certain amount of discovery you need to do, or a certain amount of work that needs to happen within a certain time frame, that's the case that takes precedent at that moment. So,
now you were saying that you're into music in addition to doing being a lawyer.
yes, as I said, frustrated musician, if you could call me that.
What do you like to play?
I play guitar. I'm a rhythm guitarist, both acoustic and electric. I started out in keyboards early on in life, and then in about 2000, I made the switch over to guitar. Because for me, you being a keyboardist, you'd understand, my brain doesn't allow my hands to think independently. So on guitar, my left hand and right hand have to work together. Mm-hmm. And that is more suited to my lack of dexterity. And love it. Got into it, love it. And a good friend of mine is probably one of the most talented people out there. A mix between Elton John and David Bowie.
Wow.
His name's Damien Brell. And I got to play with his band a number of years ago when they were here in Los Angeles, and I got to play all sorts of cool places.
Oh, that's great.
So I got that playing live experience, and the loading in, loading out, and
all the charms that go with that.
Yeah.
Do you have stuff out there that people can hear on SoundCloud or anything like that you've created?
I created, no, but Damien Brell's album's on Spotify and iTunes. It's called Haiku Troubadour, and I played on the album. As I said, he's just a fantastic talent. So very happy to be a part of that.
Now, have you just, I'm sure you have lots of riffs and stuff that you've just go ahead and just recorded on your phone just to have them and kind of, mull over in your brain. Have you done that?
Not necessarily. So when I wrote music, it was mostly when I was playing keyboards. When I played guitar, I haven't really stopped to create my own, especially as a rhythm guitarist. Lead guitarist, I can see just creating different riffs and trying to incorporate it all the time. I try to follow what the music is that I'm playing. So if I'm playing a cover, I'm trying to follow what they do there. If I'm playing in someone's band, I'm trying to create a nice rhythmic background behind it, whether it be just through the strum, not necessarily creating new note patterns on top of it, because in rhythm guitar, you're following the bass for the most part. So I kind of enjoy trying to get more down the technique of timing. And that's, for me, really key to make sure that always on beat, never trying to fall behind it, never trying to race through it. And for a rhythm guitarist, that's, I think, the most important thing for me.
Well, I'll send you a link to the podcast, and if you decide you ever want to send me any riffs or anything, I'll put them onto the podcast and put them out there into the world for people to hear.
And by the way, I wish you guys were playing NAMM this year.
That would be so great. That would be so great.
I think you guys have to.
I think at some point our future selves are actually playing there.
Yeah. Let it be heard here first. You got to submit.
Oh.
All right. So you go online and submit. But I think you guys should close out NAMM. They used to have this 80s cover band that closed out NAMM on the Hilton stage late at night. I think you guys would just kill it at the Hilton stage. Get in there and just get all the hard rockers just to sing along with you and bring that energy. I really, really think if anybody from NAMM is listening, you got to have Yachtley Crew close out NAMM on Saturday night on the Hilton stage.
Wow, thank you so much for saying that. That is so cool. Now, once again, where can people find you should they decide they need an entertainment lawyer? Is there a special website?
Sure, it's www.jrsnd.com. It stands for Jacobson, Russell, Saltz, Nassim, and Delatorre. We're located in Century City.
That is great. Thank you so much for talking. This is so kick-ass. And I definitely got to... I'm doing a test check on this new microphone. I don't know what happened to the other microphone. I think you might have heard me talk a little bit about that. So I'm doing a little test here to see how this sounds. And if so, this is what we'll be using.